Konnichiwa, Genki desu ka minna?
Huh?
Shit. I tried. This will be cut out. Don't worry.
You tried it.
Welcome
know
everyone.
about that.
Welcome. That's a great start again. Welcome to the 5th episode of Resonance Cast, your go-to podcast for all things Blue Protocol related. I mean, Blue Protocol Star Resonance related. And as always, I'm your host, Perci, and I'm joined today by my amazing co-host, Kai Bidov, and now officially part of the team, Chi. Since everyone loved having a healer in our party, she has graduated from guest to a permanent co-host. Say hello, guys.
Hello. Welcome
Hello.
once again.
Ooh. Our last podcast was a very long time ago, so there are quite a lot of topics we want to talk about today. Some of the highlights are post-beta thoughts, release date, and potential competing games, if that is an issue at all. Overbuffing, or in general, balance of classes, Nightmare Dragon, or dungeons, and master level 11 to 20, and a bunch of other stuff. So let's start with our very first topic. No time to take breaks and say hello and how you guys were doing in the last few days. We have to go through all the topics. We have a lot of things to go to. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. At least one person is excited. The other two are like, yeah. By the way, in case you guys didn't realize, we have decided to try out this format. So we are now in the game. We're sitting here and we'll talk with everyone here. And this might be a little bit better and more comfy than just seeing our YouTube models, which definitely look like us in real life. So let us know if you guys like this format more than the other one. Exactly. Thank you, Bitter. Thank you for
No
that.
problem.
Okay, let's get started with our first topic, which is post-beta thoughts. So you guys, well, actually most of us, maybe most of our viewers, might have had the chance to try out the beta or watch some other people play the beta. So you guys did for sure. And what are your thoughts? What are your overall thoughts? Let's start with Kai to my right here.
I mean, overall thoughts were pretty nice. I mean, it's definitely a world of difference to just be playing with, in the language you understand than a language I don't understand. I feel like overall it was just much easier to group up and, play with others and creating a guild and all that stuff. I mean, I had a good time to say the least, and not much complaints about it overall. Not too much issues with the beta overall, I would say.
Sounds good. What about Yuchi?
Well, for me, I understand both languages, so to me, I didn't really have much issues. But so I just mainly played the first week or so. I didn't play the end of the beta, like towards the end. And it's like my third time playing the start of the game again. So I decided to play like Win Knight, which is a melee DPS which I've never played before. And yeah, I think it's not very easy, so I understand. Some people will struggle playing a melee class. But it is quite fun. Honestly, it's just playing the game again, learning new stuff. Like learning like more stuff that I didn't know about, because I mean now the game's in English, there's more stuff that I can see.
I thought you'd understand both languages, man.
I
Okay.
do, but not the best at Chinese.
Okay. And will you go for release also for a DPS class or back to your roots as a healer?
I might just play cross mage. Really.
Oh, you're abandoning your healer friends, man? Betrayal.
I mean, honestly, I've heard there's so many healers or supports in global. I might just play DPS instead.
What about your dream DPS healer?
Hey, it works, man. In CN it works. I've tried it.
Okay.
Coming out soon.
Don't plant in some weird ideas into the heads of our viewers and listeners. Okay, bit of. What about you, man?
Okay, for me, for like the languages, I felt like it was the exact same like China, where I just didn't really read the text, even if it's in English. I just kind of remember where everything is. But then there's times where I was just confused. I was like, oh wait, I can read the text. I forgot. So there's times where I'm just not doing anything for a few seconds because I'm like analyzing what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, overall it was really fun. I started a new guild. I wasn't anticipating it to blow up as much as it did. Now I'm planning to get 2 guilds going for a global launch, so that's pretty nice.
There's some ads in between here, boys.
Yep.
Hashtag ad.
And then I also got to try new things as well. I tried a healer. I tried both healer classes, so the Verdant Oracle and now the Beat Performer. It was originally called Soul Musician. Got to learn the roots of each class and how they function, and I think it was a lot more chill than playing Stormblade.
Interesting. So we had a switch from healer to DPS, and now a DPS going to healer. As long as the balance is maintained, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna go for a launch though. Maybe I just go for a healer again because my friends are playing DPS and then like another friend's playing tank, so I think that just works out. We don't have to like sit in Party Finder for a long time.
Oh, and then you can have all the juicy whaled items like here.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Because supports they don't really need to invest that much into gearing compared to DPS, I think.
Okay, and also save on healing pots, as we know. Or I remember you mentioned that last podcast we talked about the healing pot consumption rate. Yeah. Okay, I mean overall it sounds like a more positive thing. That's what I have nothing else to add there. What are stuff which people were worried about based on beta experience, or you guys were like, this should be addressed, this should be changed? Besides from, I mean, obviously localization, right? There were some issues with that. There were some skills which had duplicate names, and I would even say that one of the main focuses of this test was to get feedback about where the localization errors are. And to fix that. But yeah, was there anything else which was met with a little bit of skepticism in the community?
Well, I wasn't really a fan of the various time zone scheduling. Like there's numerous types of time zones schedules in the where is it? It was just listed all over the place. So when you're trying to look for content that's scheduled in this game, it'll tell you the time, but then sometimes it's in like UTC -2, and then you have other ones that are like GMT plus like I don't know 4 or 5, and then there's like some that are at your local time actually. So it gets really confusing for people like me that don't really convert their time a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it a little bit inconvenient.
Yeah, to comment on that, I think the easy solution for that would be to have a server time and just make it everything around the server time. People will adjust over time. Oh yeah, my local time is 2 hours plus this, away from the or added to the server time, or less than to server time, whatever. But I think the easiest fix for that is just get rid of this UTC plus whatever, show a server time, or you just tell everyone, hey, this is the server time from now on, and then people will get used to it instead of having all those additional information in the brackets. What do you guys think about that?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I know of other games that do this, so yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Easy fix, no discussion. Well, what about you, T? Were there any other concerns you want to bring up?
Concerns. I guess there were like some I heard from some like people that say, "Oh, I ran out of content to do after clearing the Dark Mist Fortress." I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I keep hearing like these, like, "Oh, there's nothing to do. I already cleared this. What do I do now?" Well, I mean, since we played CN and like we played the CN CBT as well, we had stuff to do after clearing a hard mode. So I think for CN they even like accelerated the time
Yeah,
for the launch.
Did they?
I don't know. I
they
heard
did.
about that, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, they,
Not sure either.
we used to have like 2 days time gates.
Yeah.
Like the story, and then we had to wait for 2 days to do the next story. Then we wait another 2 days. But this time,
Oh,
Oh, you mean the
it's 3 days new
story, okay.
story.
yeah, but that I mean they did that, updated that from the beta test to release so that it's not not tiresome and you don't have to wait 2 days. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the case. I think it was a good decision. I mean, it would have been bad if you have like days in between where you have nothing to do.
Yeah, so
Yep.
they do give you like, there are some downtimes, and we need to accept that. So within those downtimes, you can do like other stuff. Maybe you just clear more content. You can farm for more gear. You might farm your gear like really fast and get all the drops instantly, but some people don't have that luxury to play all the time.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's get a little bit more in depth with this discussion about this topic. We all know that usually people who complain about, oh, I did farm everything, I have everything min-max, I did all clear all those stuff, are usually the people who, the server goes online and they're like 12 hours and then per every day like 6-7 hours average game time, and put in the average game time into the game. So obviously they're going to run out. You can never satisfy those people, right? You give them something to grind towards the end, obviously, and correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't play until the end. I guess bit of played until the last day and did everything which was available. But the actual grindable content like master boards weren't available, right?
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, so that is one. I had plenty of discussions with the community in the Discord. You guys most likely had that too. Like for me, master mode is something they added to satisfy all those people who have more than just 2 hours per day to spend, who wants to grind. Besides the horizontal, you can always grind the horizontal, but not everyone is interested. And then some people just want to do dungeon grinds, want to get the master score, go for the next master score. It is not mandatory, but it gives them a reason to endlessly grind. And gives them like a juicy master score at the to display and tell everyone, hey, look at me. But those kind of elements are required, and this was not available in the CBT. Interesting would be to know if a casual player, and sadly most casual people don't actively engage in conversation on Twitch, Reddit, or Discord. They just play the game if they like it. If they don't, they quietly disappear. So there's always this kind of the majorities, the silent majority once again, and the vocal minority thing going on. So it would be interesting to see how they perceive that. There were plenty of people in all the communities who were like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. I only had like 1 or 2 hours to play, so it was nice to see that I wasn't left behind after a couple of days, because that is usually the case in other MMOs. We start together, and then in the next 3 days or after 3 days, everyone is scattered around. Some people are in the mid content, some at the end content. It doesn't give the same vibe of an MMO anymore, and it gets worse and worse the more people are spread out. And usually the casuals who will be left behind will be like, oh, fuck this, I'm out. And I had the feeling the time gate helps the casuals more, who are the silent majority, I mean, and is, of course you will run out of things to do if you have like 10 hours to invest in per day in average. Sorry for the long rant. What do you think? Do you think I nailed it, or do you think there are some stuff I missed?
I think that sounds.
Actually,
Oh, sorry. I thought you said guys, not Kai.
It was Kai, but let's give Kai a chance, okay? Bit of
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
I mean, I think It is almost about right, yeah. Doof can add to what he has to say after I mention, I guess. But I had a bunch of chatters as well that were like in the exact same position. We're like, okay, well, I have to work every day, so I can't play that much every day. So the way it is better. And I should say, it's like the silent majority. There's no way the casuals are gonna be like complaining about it either, because they're casuals. They're not really gonna bother or care to do that the entire time. So.
Okay, bit of
Right.
now go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. For me, back then, I I don't know, like 15 something years ago when I played MMOs. Like, yeah, I'm fine grinding like 10 plus hours a day. But now I'm like really old. I don't mind. I don't mind like there being little pockets of downtime in MMO. Lets me do other things. Lets me touch grass if I actually want to touch grass. Um, I think it's a good start. I think one thing that they missed though, that they overlooked, is like, yeah, like this catch up system that Star Resonance has is probably one of the better catch up systems I've seen in MMO. But I think the one thing that they missed the mark on is get smoothly making the transition from like early game content all the way to end game content. Because right now, the new player or the returning player, they would like, they complete the main story quest, and then they would get all their talent points or whatever, and then they could get all the catch up system bonuses, and then afterwards they're just pushed all the way to the end game without actually learning mechanics or the dungeon itself. Like it doesn't really teach people how to play the game, and I think that's kind of a problem right now.
Hmm.
uh, I think they need to like add mandatory like dungeons that you have to at least just try before you step foot into like these end game content pieces.
Yeah, I think that is one of the issues with a lot of MMO struggle with. Like, first of all, you need catch-up system in MMOs. I am pretty sure everyone here agrees. Like, if a MMO is out there for 3 years and we are tier 5 or whatever, and then someone just joins the game, they shouldn't have to go through tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 at the same pace we did over the course of 6 years. By the time they are there in 6 years, we are already in tier 20 or whatever, right? So that doesn't clearly work. So there needs to be a catch-up system which makes it easier for people to reach the end game over time, like, compared to when it was initially released. The issue which always happens, and this is something you pointed out, this is something I observed in every other MMO too, is giving them the opportunity to skip stuff also allows them to skip some important things which are mandatory to clear dungeons, or each game has their unique mechanics or systems which you need to understand and are easier to understand if you are given the time to understand it. And most of the time they miss one of those things in the catch-up systems, and they land in the end game, and then they are getting overwhelmed by all those things. Usually it's the systems like Lost Ark, where when you get dropped in and you have suddenly 10 systems which are just getting slapped onto your face. But here I wouldn't say we have that many complicated systems. Oh, we have a visitor here. Say hello to our visitor, by the way. Yep, that is the dog, by the way, we're gonna get when we reach 3 million. Was it 3 million pre-registration? Oh, I'm getting sidetracked. Oh,
Up 2 or 3.
I think so.
yeah, I got sidetracked. A butterfly. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so that is the issue with the catch-up system. So, Chi, what do you think? First, in regard of in terms of people complaining, oh, there was not enough to do. I mean, the vocal minority complaining. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Who had the time to just do more than what they need to do. And the second part about the catch-up system. So, yeah, give us your opinion.
I think they nailed the. I mean, we really spoke what I wanted to say for the first part, which is the vocal minority thing about no content.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll just move on to the second part, which is the. What was it again? Yeah, I'm old as well, man. I short-term memory loss.
The catch-up system in Blue Protocol, and similar to other MMOs, that you get dropped and then you might miss some core mechanical skills or system knowledge, whatever.
Yeah, this game has not enough tutorials. I'm pretty sure there's like 0 tutorials or something. They
Yeah,
barely teach you anything.
yeah. Do you have the same feeling when we are talking about like when the game launches and you get introduced, like let's say the gem system is unlocked, and then you have actually a tutorial for that in the codex, in the in-game codex. You also get led to that, if I remember correctly. Am I wrong?
You do, but I think
Uh,
they just speak to you and that's it. They just throw
Yeah.
you straight into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, at the same time, they are not that complicated, those systems, to be honest. It's just,
They are not, but I guess to some casual players, they might not understand like what this is.
yeah,
There's also some hidden systems as well that they don't say.
yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I feel like I guess I'm just not phased by the systems not being explained well, because I don't know. I played MMOs like way long time ago. They don't really explain anything, so I think it's just a normal thing. But then, yeah, I guess in this day and age, we do need tutorials for the newer audience.
Yeah, and for some of the people who are going to play the game, who will assume, oh, it's a anime gacha game, like they will approach it the way other gacha games are. Everything is gacha. This is not the case. It has this MMO elements in it, so they might just need a little bit more guiding through the system. So yeah, that would be nice. But at the same time, when this releases, there will be most likely some sources out there which are going to explain that, or videos, whatever. So outside sources will fix it. But it's always better if the game gives you a better guidance or tutorial to introduce stuff. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, especially since there's also going to be like a mobile audience, so.
True. Yeah. Anything else you guys were, some of your viewers pointed out what they want to see addressed or improved?
I mean, just the stuff that everybody is concerned about, like the Imagine Gacha and things like that, but nothing that's not unheard of, I think.
Yeah, the Imagine Gacha topic we revisit on every podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, if you didn't check out our previous podcasts, go for it. There are other topics we talked about which are pretty relevant. Hashtag ad. But we might, but we might revisit the gacha topic later during today's podcast. The different topic, most likely. But overall, once again, to summarize, overall, the majority of casual experience, I think they realized the time gate is for their benefit. Of course, if you're on the other side of the plate, if you're someone who has more time to invest, or if you just have more time, you will be like, oh yeah, I did everything, but I have nothing else to do. I don't want to do horizontal contact. Yeah, of course that is a legit concern, but at the same time, I really want the game to focus more on the casual audience, which are the majority, and of course, as Bidov mentioned, this test didn't include all the grind things they added for the min-maxers, the non-mandatory stuff. So that might fix a lot of those issues. But yeah, overall, I would say it was a solid experience. I wouldn't say it was mainly positive or mainly negative. It was right in the middle, maybe slightly more towards positive. I heard a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, this is like the first really anime-like MMO," which I agree with. Like, I don't count Genshin or other similar games as MMOs. They are like pseudo, like co-op one, but this one is the real first one people will experience. And overall, yeah, was fine. Let's move on to the next topic, I guess, which is release date and potential competing games. The release date got revealed. It's 9th of October. We are less than a month away from it. What do you guys think about it? Is it a good time? Are there any issues, concerns regarding the release date?
I think that's kind of perfect, at least for my friend groups, because a lot of them are currently playing Borderlands 4 that just came out, and then after like a few weeks, they can stop playing that and play some Star Resonance.
Nice.
So I think it's good.
What about you guys, Kai?
Yeah, it sounds about right. I have the same going on in my guild Discord. There's a lot of people currently talking about Borderlands 4, so I think it's coming out at a good time. So, I can't think of the top of my head of anything else at the moment that releases closely. So it seems good.
I assume she has nothing else to add. He's just staring at me in game.
Well, 9 October, I think it's perfect. Because is there any other MMO that released recently?
No, I think
very niche ones, I think, but like I don't even remember the names of them because they're so small.
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Whoa.
That was like 2 months ago.
I think Chrono Odyssey was intended to get released this year, but it got pushed to next year. So
I mean, if you look at their CBT, just go away. They need some more time to cook. Aeon 2 as well? I'm not sure when Aeon 2 is going to release.
Yeah, but Aeon 2 releases in KR only. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be next year.
No, KR releases in November.
Oh. Yeah, and then I think global is next year, right?
Yeah. Intended to be released next year. Everything can change in the MMO space. Like MMOs are the one which are really prone to delays, and they're like, oh shit, people didn't like it. Let's push it. I mean, that's still better than rushing it and publishing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so usually it's the case for MMOs. You have to always take it with a grain of salt. If you hear about we intend to release it in 2025 or 26, it can always be pushed back.
There's not really a lot of MMOs. Right? Ash's Creation. That thing's I don't know when that's ever coming out.
Yeah.
It's been an alpha since like before New World came out.
Yep.
What the heck?
What, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's definitely not coming out this year.
But yeah, like at the start of this year, there was a lot of MMOs that were like gonna compete with Star Resonance. We had Crystal Atlan. That one didn't do that well. For some reason, people thought that Aura Kingdom was gonna do really well. That didn't do well. Chrono Odyssey. Like all these MMOs are just. They just aren't that good, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Star Resonance is perfect in any way, but like I think it has a solid chance of making it out of the launch phase where all these other MMOs are like kind of falling off.
I mean, that's an interesting thought. Let's hold on to it. So let's talk about Crystal of Atlan. What do you think was the main reason why it fell from grace? Like from my observation, correct me if I'm wrong, it was heavily pay to win. The combat was nice. As far as I know, the combat looked really good, but it was really pay to win. Like people already complain about that one Echo being, Echo Gacha being pay to win in Star Resonance. But as far as I heard about Crystal of Atlan, it was way more like it's a different level of pay to win than what we have in Star Resonance. And on top of that, you have some stuff like stamina you could pay to win. And yeah, is that true? Who played it here a lot?
I think three of us played it, but like I played it around the same. I put down the same amount of hours as like Chi, I think. But I felt like at almost every minute from the beginning of the game, like I felt like the game was really forcing me to spend money in their various monetization systems that they have in the game. So it just didn't feel. It felt way too I guess predatory is the word.
Yeah.
Like in Star Resonance, I spent like probably over 1K already in Star Resonance, but then in Crystal Atlan, I after a couple weeks of playing, I didn't spend a single dollar in that. It just didn't feel good to spend. Or, I don't know.
I mean, it might be also
Weren't
because you like
also,
Star Resonance. Sorry to interrupt you, Kai. You can go after that. But it is also you spent 1K. But why did you spend it? Is it because you like the game more and you felt like, oh, it doesn't matter if I spend it here? Meanwhile, in Crystal Atlan, you're like pushed to being getting their money. Like, give it to us, give it to us. Is it because of that, or what was the main reason why you decided to spend on Star Resonance instead of that other game?
Oh, I mean, it's the simple. I just want to pump damage and get cosmetics too. Like cosmetics doesn't give you any kind of stats, unlike Crystal Battling. But like, it's just for those two reasons. I mean, the cosmetics here are nice. Because this is a social game, like you actually get to hang around long enough to actually just admire people's choices of outfits. I think that was a kind of a problem in Crystal Battling. Everyone is just standing in no one's like socializing Crystal Island. It was just people are just huddling around like important pieces of content, like upgrading their gear, or they're just doing their dailies. No one's like really hanging out there. At least in my experience, I couldn't find anything like that comparatively to Star Resonance. But then like again, going back to one of my points here, it was like I don't mind swiping for just to get some faster progression, but then in Crystal Island, I don't know, I just didn't like progressing faster there. It just didn't feel good how they really like mentally try to strangle you for your money. So I didn't like to support that.
That metaphor, man. What about the other two guys before you go full deep depre mode? Chi, what do you think? Oh, wait, Kai, my bad, Kai.
Yeah, I was just simply gonna ask, weren't like alts also required in that game because it like grants more stamina?
Yep.
Yeah.
You had to go through the time gated storyline on each alt, and then you have to do dailies on each alt every day.
Oh, okay. So it was a typical grind, which just forces you to that's sadly the case for a lot of MMOs nowadays, which I think Star Resonance did good, is like doing content or adding content, like adding alts just for the purpose of you to keep you bound to this game for as long as possible every day, like making you work for the game. Was that the case? Like you had a lot of opportunities to sink time and get benefits out of that for your main?
For Star Resonance?
No, for the Crystal game, Crystal Atlan.
Oh, Crystal Atlan. I'm not sure if this answers your question, but it's like I just felt like I'm forced to do homework on every alt.
Yeah.
Or the same dailies every day on each alt. Otherwise, I'm not making a lot of progress on my main unless I like swipe, which again I don't like swiping in that game. In Star Resonance, I just liked how alts aren't really mandatory. I mean, for DPS, if you're trying to go for like optional endgame content, then I guess it's kind of required. But the thing is, the difference is that you don't have to really run your alts all that much. Like I think in Star Resonance, I only run 2 alts, and then I run them like I run through the only activity that we have to do here is just life skills on them, and then I just do my life skills like every 5 days on them, and it takes like 10 minutes each, so it's really not that bad.
You mean every 5th day? So you okay.
Oh, yeah, every 5th day.
Okay.
Yeah, really
yeah,
not that bad.
Okay. And she is being still silent.
Yes.
Kai already voiced his opinion. Chi, what about you?
For Crystal Atlan?
Yeah, you didn't play it?
I did. It's trash. That's all I can say.
Thank you for your.
Okay,
thank you.
understandable.
It's not just time gated, it's stamina gated. And because of that, it just keeps telling you, oh, you can buy stuff, you can buy stamina, you can buy levels, you can buy everything in that game actually.
Okay. Well,
In Star Resonance, you can't buy your way through a type gate. There's no such thing.
yeah. Okay, that was short and precise. Thank you very much. While we're talking about costumes and you love to spend more money here in costumes, one thing people complain, I think, is a real, a justified complaint, and I hope they will change it. Is that what Kai has equipped? Kai, that's a one piece, right? Like you can't mix it with other pieces of gear, right?
Yeah, the bottom half is just one full piece.
Exactly. So that's something people complained. It would be nice. There are a couple like premium, like really, gacha or whatever. Once again, costumes don't have any stats here for those who are new. But there are some costumes like this one which are for one piece instead of being split up into pants, shoes, and so on. They're one piece, so you can't mix them with other sets, and that's one of the things people complain about, and I hope they will change it. If I remember correctly, in OGBP you could separate those, and here they fused it into one piece. Yeah, exactly. I'm frustrated too. You guys think it's a concern they should address, or what do you guys think about it? Yeah, I have to call it a name. Okay, otherwise you guys gonna start talking over each other.
Roll call here.
Roll call. Okay, let's start with Kai.
I mean, I think it should be addressed because cosmetics are like a huge part of the end game to some players. So them separating it is nice for sure. The nice thing is though that we can color it full RGB at least, like any color you want, compared to OG where that was just a few color options.
Yeah.
But I think separating it is definitely a thing that people would like for their costumes. Mix and match is huge, so.
Yeah, okay. Chi, what do you think?
I think some can be separated, but I think some of the costumes, probably like I think some are really hard to separate though, because some of them are like dresses, which is like a one piece. Don't know how you're gonna separate it. And maybe most of the paid cosmetics, like the 5 mil tickets, all of them are one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think looking at how they're designed, I think it's very hard to separate it. But this is just how I see it though.
Got it.
Mhm.
And Bidov?
I can see that.
The amount of people that tell me like, hey, I wish there was a hoodie that you can wear that's not attached to a one piece. I wish that I could tell them, yeah, there is a hoodie out there, but there's not. Every hoodie in this game is tied to a full body outfit, which sucks. And I hope they do split some of these ones up.
Yeah. Let's I'm just checking our outfits here. So mine is, Tenchi, like Angel. I tried that. I don't know if I succeeded a little bit, full white, and all the stuff I have equipped, if I remember correctly, are from oh, look at this. Are all from the free-to-play costumes you can get with bound rose orbs, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And yours, Bidov, is from the monthly card, right?
The hat?
No, I think the t-shirt is from that, but I don't know about the other parts.
Oh, the hat is from the monthly pass or monthly subscription. I mean, the t-shirts from the I forgot what the package is called. It was like the one-time package at the very front of the store page.
Okay. And
everything else is just from like dungeon or from the Rose Orb shop.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure cheese is from the premium gacha.
No, you just buy it with unbound rose orbs.
Okay. Yeah. And Kai's, yours is one of the OGs? OG costume?
Everything is free that I got. So.
Yeah. Also in terms of mix and matching, you went for some cowboy paladin.
That's my smelting hat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that was a short introduction to fashion sense of the Star Resonance podcast members, which is let's say okay. Um, let's talk about some other stuff which we have on the list. We have the current Imagine. Oh yeah, there we go. That is obviously on our list. The Imagine situation. We always hear like that is the point which a lot of people bring up. Can you remove this Imagine gacha? Towards the end game when you do like those really high difficult and most of the time non-mandatory content, it is required that some people have a specific imagines which are easier to get if you use the gacha. So what do you guys think? What is the overall sentiment about it? Is it still the same? Did it get worse or did it improve? What are your general and final thoughts about it? Because I don't want to bring this up every time, man. I'm tired, boss. Okay, cheat.
Unfortunately, I think
Yeah,
I think
go.
we're just have to bring it up every time. I think it's a very controversial topic in both China and in global. That this system is very easily seems pay to win. I mean, I wouldn't say seems. I would say it is pay to win. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to keep talking about it until something changes.
Yep. Okay. And what do you think? Did it get worse? Is it the same, or is it just the people talking more about it? At least the vocal minority. I always bring this up. I have the feeling once a huge chunk of people will be like, oh, I don't care, or like, oh, I don't need it for the non-mandatory. I only need it for the non-mandatory content, whatever. Or there will be the people, the silent whale squad. They will be like, oh, let's get it. Let's get that shit. And the money talks, and if enough people buy it, which is usually the case, that's why all the gacha games are doing so well. The silent majority buys that shit, and the dev will get the signal. Oh, it works. So why the fuck do we need to change it, right? So what do you think, Chi?
I don't think they'll change it. Honestly, no matter how much we complain, I'm pretty sure they're never gonna change it. They already they already gave their stance on this, that they know this is their money making. It's one of their money making streams, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they don't want to make this their. They said they don't want to make this their main source of revenue.
Yeah, that actually kind of pissed me off reading that. So I'll read the translation here because I have it pulled up. It says at the very end here, it says, as a commercial product, we need to have sufficient revenue to support the team and continue to produce more game content. As the team matures, the content we can present will also be of higher quality. Therefore, we cannot completely give up this part of the income, but we will never use it as core revenue sources. Like, I don't know. I think as a consumer, they like. I feel like they're misjudging our intelligence by saying that last part, we will never use it as core revenue sources.
Oh, I feel like
I feel like a lot of the revenue actually does come from Imagines, but I don't know, maybe because I don't have access to the financial reports, or like I don't know, like the internal stuff that I don't know that. No. It seems that way to me as a consumer.
I think you might be misunderstanding that. Like how I understand it, and I might be wrong here too, is they are not making it their core revenue source. What does it mean to make it? Like, easiest example, you just brought it up earlier, Crystal of Atlan. What if that was their focus as the main revenue? Like, if they want to push it, if it naturally happens, it happens, right? But if they want to push it, I can see them making it way more pay to win. They could just make that, some of the Imagines are really OPly broken and can never be farmed, right? Never be gotten by free to play. That would be making it their main source. But that is luckily, knock on the table, luckily not the case. But it is obviously one of their main sources of revenue, and it's ideally people, like some people will be like, oh yeah, just give us costumes, and everything else should be, like costumes alone are fine. I don't know. Like I don't. Which MMO was able to survive with just costumes or cosmetics? I don't know if there's any example. People will bring up some other genres as an example. The favorite one is, I think, PoE. PoE has those cosmetics, which they do, and it's free to play. They have also the stash system, by the way, which is, you miss out if you don't have it, but that's something people ignore. But that is a completely different genre, and you can't always compare the upkeep cost of one genre to the other. Some are way easier to maintain because your target audience is just one specific group with less deviance and preferences. But if you compare it to an MMO, I would say MMOs have like such a large audience, or audience with such a different or a spectrum of preferences that you have to satisfy. It's one of the more difficult one, and you will see that in the market too. There was a time where barely any MMO came out because it's just a way too much of a risk to make an MMO and make it succeed and make it sustainable compared to Battle Royale, or like those which takes way less time to make, and then even if you lose, you still get your get to 0 or some plus. That's my opinion. So that's how I would interpret it, like the last sentence. But I might be wrong here. But what do you guys? What do you think, Chi, about that?
I think they definitely don't like. They're definitely not trying to make it, because the Imagine Gacha is actually quite obscure. They don't even tell you it exists. They just bring you to the guy, but when you talk to the guy to like make an Imagine, but you don't actually go to the Imagine Gacha.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not getting slapped into your face, right? Like, hey, do this,
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, they don't do that. So I think it's okay. But they definitely do need to put a limit on it, I guess. I mean, there already is a limit. It's just for the PC Imagine that you can choose.
Yep.
After that, it'll be random. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
Kai, go ahead. Yeah.
it just shows that they aren't trying to make it their main source of revenue.
But it is most likely, or maybe maybe also the actually, I think the materials from the for the gachas, not the gacha, Imagine you need from the store are more their main source of revenue than anything else.
Yeah.
That is what I think. That's what people who like. Listen, guys, the gacha is not the issue. If you want to limit pay to win, ask them to limit the materials you can buy per week in the store to create those gachas, the Imagine, sorry. Because it doesn't matter if you get the will for the Imagine, you won't be able to pay to win and craft it unless you have the option to buy those materials from the store. That is the real issue. So if you guys take anything out of this, then push, instead of limiting the gacha, push for them to limit the materials they sell without any limit. So that is the actual, like, it's still in that ecosystem. It's still the gacha, the Imagine pay to win thing. But if you want to make it or limit it, or make a full stop to it, push for the limitation of the materials in the store. Like, Kai, do you agree?
Well, I'm not sure if that would entirely solve it, because then people just take to the auction house, and then the trend just continues, so it will never be fully solved unless you would set a
Well,
limit to that, which
wait,
I think
wait.
is a bad
Well,
idea.
Wait, like, Bob,
Well,
we don't
like,
gonna, yeah.
But like, how often does the materials like land in the market?
Exactly. I knew Bit of
I
gonna
mean,
be.
that just depends on what you need, I guess.
No. The difference is the materials which land in the auction house. Like, obviously, if you buy it from the shop, you can't sell it in the auction house, right? But if you can only sell the materials related to Imagine crafting in the auction house if you get it as a drop, and those are rare. So it is a huge difference if they buy it from the shop, which has infinite, like it just creates a material out of thin air, versus from the auction house, which is from where people get it dropped and sell it, and it is rare. So I mean, it's really rare. That's why, once again, it even amplifies and makes the whales go for the materials in the shop. So once again, by limiting that, you limit the progress of or the pay to winness of the gacha system, and also move the money towards the players instead of just throwing into the shop. Right, Bidoff? Is that what you want to say?
Yeah, right. And also, like, a lot of the materials for Imagines, most of them, they're not even, like, there's not that many to where you might be waiting for a long time for like just one to show up in the market. That's how rare they are, and you need like more than 100 or even 200 for like the NPC ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna take a really
kind of
long
find
time.
them on the market. They're all sold out, especially for Tina. There is like the bulletin shop.
Yeah.
Where it shows you when the material sold.
Yep.
I waited until 5 seconds left. Then I started refreshing. It never appeared because it got instantly bought.
Yeah, instantly bought. Yeah. I mean, that's totally fine. Like, that wouldn't make it pay to win, to be honest, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you are not in that auction house and it is a rare material, which is some player needs to get dropped, and they put it in the auction house, and then you need to be fast. And it has, once again, every material has a price limit. So you can't just make it infinite, like scale it infinitely so that only whales can buy it. At this point, every endgame player can afford all the materials, but the issue is this competing, like the demand with supply, and then everyone wants to get it, and it's not the whales, or like anyone can get it. It doesn't prefer whale or just a normal player. So I think that makes it fair. So back to the thing, if you guys, once again, if you guys don't agree with me, just voice it, but that is the core thing they need to fix. Put a fucking limit on the materials from the store to the golden box and the purple box. Any limit. I'm fine with like 30 per or like 20 per week or 30 per week. Totally fine. But put a limit to that. That is my takeaway from this entire gacha system thing.
Yeah, I think that's completely fine. Just having a limit on the materials.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, another topic checkmarked here on the list. We have the next one. Oh, we talked about that a lot. The buffing situation, the balance situation. So TLDR, there were some broken classes, namely the Wolfgang, Wolfpack class or spec from the marksman class, and it was really broken. And when the devs tried to nerf it, the people who invested already a lot into that broken class because it was broken were like, no, don't nerf it, and then the devs kind of backed down and did some other stuff and didn't nerf it or try to buff other classes. And I'm always an advocate of stop doing buff for balance only. You need to nerf it just to counter, like the game usually marches at a steady pace towards like large numbers of damage, right? Just millions, trillions, like slowly. It's kind of inevitable. That's usually the case for for an MMO. But by just buffing to balance classes, they just increase the pace. And at some point, you will have such big numbers. It just makes no sense. It doesn't look good. So I'm always a fan of nerf and buff both to make the classes come closer to each other. There will be never a perfectly balanced MMO. There should be winners and losers, slightly better winners, slightly better losers, worse losers in every balance patch. But it should be like that, and that is totally fine. But it shouldn't be just buff, 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 buff. What do you guys think about that?
I totally agree on that. The wolf bow situation was it was crazy. But then it like I'm trying to explain this to like the audience that hasn't touched China. Like the wolf bow was just absurdly broken. It just usually did twice the amount of damage of the average DPS, like probably 3 or 4 times more than like the lowest damage dealer in the game. It was just really broken. And then because they backed out on the nerfs on that, instead they just buffed a bunch of classes to around wolf bow level. That created a unbalance for just the content, because now they didn't adjust anything for the content, and now everything just like it just gets melted. So I can't, like, whenever someone's asking me, because people ask every day whenever I'm streaming, #ad, what are the strongest classes right now, what's the tier list looking like, what's the top 3 classes, etc. I can't answer that, because every class has a spec that's just as strong as Wolfbow now, and all the content is just gets melted. It's too easy. So I think it did create an imbalance for in that regard. Now that they decided, I think because of that, they actually decided to push. I mean, I'm just assuming here. They decided to push to release Master 11 to 20. I feel like originally they just wanted to release 11 to 15, because they've always just been releasing Master Mode difficulties by like 5s. So like 5 and then 10 a few weeks later, and then like 11 to 15, etc. But then now they release 11 to 20 because I think we would just destroy Master Mode 15, which we did, and then now it's like kind of hard, because now the scaling is just like all the mobs are just way more tankier and do more damage, and they kind of just outscale the overbuff that we have. So yeah, like they had to like rush. It seems like they had to rush releasing more content because of the overbuff.
Okay. Do you feel the same, Chi?
Well, they definitely did overbuff the. I don't think they overbuffed the.
Overbuff
The
what?
were still the same.
You are eating your last word in each of your sentence. Get closer to your mic, man.
Oh, my bad. I think they definitely overbuffed the DPS. That's 100%. But the tags, I don't think they received that much of a buff. So them releasing 16 to 20 so early just makes it really hard for the tanks and the supports to play.
Mhm.
The DPS just needs to do their DPS things
And
deal
die.
damage.
Yeah, and die.
Yeah.
I saw that on Bidow's stream, how he died every time.
But that's because the tanks die. They just
Hey,
just die
let's
instantly. You
not
can't do
focus on
anything about it.
unnecessary stuff, okay? Keep going.
But it's not their fault.
I know.
They can't tank it.
I know.
Yeah, so it's just because they maybe rushed the release. Now it's just like very hard to clear stuff if the tank doesn't think and just pulls everything for fun because of the Tempest Ogre, which almost every tank has. And once they pull it,
It's
they
over.
can't kill the mobs. They die. Each of us just keeps dying, and it's just a cycle: revive, die, revive, die, revive, die.
Yeah, but that sounds less like a balance problem and more like a brain problem to me.
I think it's still a balance problem because they balanced it wrongly, because they overbuffed DPS. They wanted to push for more content, and that led to this situation where Master 16 and above is going to get gate capped 100%.
Yeah, but gatekeeping on non-mandatory, high difficult content like that is something I wouldn't even call it a bad thing. We talked about that a while ago in podcast. Gatekeeping on mandatory content, which are easy, is a bad thing because you are depriving casuals from their progress, which never feels good and isn't good. But if it's like an optional content where you need to min-max, where you need to have what to some kind of or fulfill some requirements to clear the content for this with this role, people are fully allowed to check if you fulfill those requirements if they do it themselves, right? No one has to carry you through something which you are not prepared for. It's not their job.
Problem is,
Yeah.
N19, I think, or N18.
Yeah.
I think Shield Knights are getting excluded because they don't have enough CC.
Oh,
And
okay.
you are forced to play. You're forced to play Lifebind healer because you need CC basically. So you need crowd control.
Okay. But
A
Shield
class is
Knight,
being excluded.
both are they? So they are preferring the heavy
Guardian.
Guardian. Okay. But wouldn't it fix the issue like the way you explained it? They are pulling everything. Isn't that a pace problem? Like, are they fighting against the time? Because it feels like, okay, if you did lower difficulties and you were able to pull more mobs, and now you're going to really high difficulty, you should adjust the amount of mobs you pull. Like, if you pull too many and the DPS can't kill them fast enough, obviously you die as a tank. So you just pull less and take more, invest more time into it. Is that the wrong approach? It won't work? Question mark?
Sometimes it won't work because it's a race against time. We have to kill the mobs within the time limit. So if you pull too little, then you won't have time to clear. Because the mobs have like more health, DPS, and more time to kill.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen videos of N19. I mean, they're not really struggling on time, honestly. There's just it just makes the run more safe using a heavy Guardian.
If I remember correctly, Shield Knight, the light shield build, has CC. Like, I remember him using the auto attack, just jiggles, knocks up mobs.
Is that true, Kai?
The outer attack, which one is that, Percy?
If you cast the cold wind buff, where you auto attack mobs into the slashes, which knocks up enemies with each hit.
I don't know if that constantly interrupts though.
I think you need hard CC, which is like stunning.
I know that the left path for tank has like a 3-second stun as an example, which does help like a lot. And then the shield itself makes enemies like dazed temporarily as well. And the shield absorbing damage, like you can survive pretty well as a recovery spec, I think. But I haven't really had the chance to try M18 yet, so I can't like fully comment on it.
Yeah, because that was the first thing you brought. Like, I remember when I played the light shield. I'm always a light shield player as a tank, and I remember me just juggling the mobs mid-air with once I had cast that skill, and it lasts for like what 6-7 seconds plus. I don't remember exactly. That might work, but maybe it doesn't work on those higher tier mobs. But we are sidetracking. It's nothing which will give the viewers here more insight. But yeah, so TLDR, you guys are saying they overbuffed, so they had to release higher difficulty content sooner, but that creates an issue where people weren't properly prepared enough. Like, what do you think would have been different if they would have released the master level 15 to 20 later?
I mean, tanks and stuff could be more prepared for sure, because I mean, as a tank myself, I think the modules are also a big part of it. If you have proper modules, you'll definitely have an easier time surviving. And I can say that I definitely do not have that yet. So if it's delayed further, there's a higher chance, tanks will have better modules and just better even skill levels overall, and they'll be able to like mitigate more or survive longer.
Got it. Do you guys feel the same, Bidov and Chi?
So yeah, I kind of agree on that. Like, for example, gear slots, we don't really have a lot of time to catch up with gear slots, so I'm missing a lot of extra survivability with that. So I think and you guys were mentioning how we just die really fast. Like, even if the tank is still alive, sometimes like there'll just be random stuff that just does a lot of damage still.
Yeah.
I think if I had higher levels in refinement, I would be I could survive like one more hit, which would allow me to survive the entire encounter. But yeah, I think
Yeah, that's
giving us
also
more time would have been nice.
Okay. But you guys had more than enough gear score for that more than the recommended one, or what? Or were you guys pushing the
No.
limit?
No, we're pushing
No,
the
no,
limits.
yes.
For sure.
Okay. So basically, the game tells you don't go in. You go in and die fast. Okay. What the
I mean
fuck?
that's been that's been the case for like since week 2 or week 3. Like for example,
What
Steam,
the fuck?
Steam Vaults.
Team involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
like Steam Vaults, like they release floor 45, and that thing is like, I don't know, 22k gear score, and we can only go up to like 17k. Like they shouldn't be releasing content that soon. Then
No.
if we can't even reach the gear score.
Yes, but I think the issue now, like I realize it was the case before. So before we could go earlier than it recommended. It was recommended. We could clear it, but now we are struggling, even though we still don't have the recommended, and that is bad. Like how much? What kind of difference are we talking about? Let's say M17. What is recommended and what is your gear score, guys?
M17, I think that's like 31.
31.
Yeah, and what?
Around there.
What is your gear score?
Mine's like
26.
30.7.
Okay, you are the.
I'm at 27.
Okay.
But I beat it, so.
So I have the feeling that these higher difficulty content intend to know just if you are a DPS and you get hit, you die. I don't think it will make a difference for you if you are 32k bit of. You will still die, right?
Well, it depends what I've invested into. Like again, I invested more into damage rather than survivability.
Where? Okay.
I get one shot, by the way.
Okay.
By an undodgeable shockwave. Very fun.
Yeah.
Okay. But what is your gear score?
Undodgeable shockwave.
26k?
26k and you go into 30k. Okay. Well,
You're a support though. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might be just some kind of expectation. Oh, that's how it was always, and now we are met with actual recommendation and requirements, and now we are not able to. That's how it feels like, but maybe I'm wrong. But that leads me to a different topic. I think this is the one we already basically talked about, which is kind of similar: expectation versus reality. So I have the feeling in the last few days that a lot of people approach Star Resonance and keep forgetting that they market this game as a seasonal MMO, which is something you will never see other MMOs do, because other MMOs try to get you into the game and keep you playing for every month, every week, and if possible every day. But this one, it feels like more like really a seasonal one, because if you played other seasonal games, mostly from other genres, it's usually like at season release, there are the major content drops, which add new stuff, new vertical, new horizontal stuff, and people get back to the game, played for like a month, a little bit more than a month, maybe, the majority, the casuals, or someone just spawned on top of you. Man, I'm getting sidetracked. And then after that 1 month, 1 month and a half, they just leave and then wait for the next season update. So that is how seasonal games were so far in other genres. And between, the point where people leave and wait for the next season update and the next season update, they will usually drop in some farmable content for those people who like to grind. And I would consider Master Mode as one of those things in Star Resonance. So I feel like this is the mindset people should have if they engage or go into Star Resonance. They, as a casual, they should think like, okay, I did all the normal modes. I did a decent amount, I got a decent amount of gear. I can actually chill now after 1.5 months and wait for the next big update. I think that's a totally fine mindset to have in this game, which was usually bad in other MMOs. That's why I think there's like people come in and have like a different experience based on forced experience in other MMOs and expect to go through the same treadmill in this one too, and they're surprised as like, oh wait, I'm done. I don't need to do every day everything, and then they're like, that feels different. And the hardcore players are like, where are my new stuff every month? Where are the new raids every month? I think there are those kind of expectation versus reality because of what this game tries to do. Do you guys agree? He's thinking, man. He's before he gets stun locked.
Yeah, I'm also thinking. I mean, there will always be like that diversion with MMOs, with what players want versus what you get. Like expectation versus reality, as you mentioned. Um, I mean, I think it's Star Resonance itself tries to do like multiple directions at the moment, kinda, where it is like catering to the hardcores with the raids in the sense, and like catering to the casuals as well. But I think that is okay if they can somehow appease to both sides, but you can't expect them, to push out content like every month or every week or something like that. Seasonal updates are completely fine. Like some MMOs don't even get 3 month updates. Sometimes it's just like a year. So like Final Fantasy 14 with expansions as an example. So I think the pace is okay. The fact that they do it seasonally.
Okay, Bidoof, are you out of the stun lock or?
I mean, I guess I do agree that the pacing is fine. I'm not really sure where we're going with the topic. I was like still thinking about overbuffing the classes. But yeah.
You're living in the past. Let go of it. Let go of it. Chi, are you also living in the past?
Never mind. I was still stuck.
Yeah, I'm also living in the past.
Oh my god. But yeah, so what?
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay. But what do you have to say about this conversation about seasonal and expectations of people because they are used to other MMOs?
The pacing?
Yes. The pacing and in general the topic of this game being more season focused instead of trying to have you play every day for every month as a casual.
Yeah, I think the overall pacing is fine. Overall, not the recent dungeon bullshit, but yeah. But every 3 months, we have to see what updates they have for season 2, of course. But yeah, every 3 months I think it's okay. It's not bad. And every 6 months we get a new class.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fine. Yeah. I guess everyone is like, okay, yeah, not agree. But okay,
We're
then
stuck in the past, Yeah,
stuck in the past. Let's then move on to what she already teasered here with next season update. What are you guys expecting for the next season to update? Because once again, it's a seasonal game, so it should be huge. What are your expectations? So let's start with Chi, who just stopped talking.
I would say definitely hopefully there's new dungeons. There's new raids. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes that these have more mechanics every time you increase the difficulty. Don't just increase the health. I think that's just stupid. And I mean, we already know there's going to be more Imagines because of the new map, Bahamar Mountains, I think.
Yep.
Finally.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what the new Imagines will be. So just tell us whether they want the power creep the shit out of season 1 or they don't want the power creep season 1 and they just want to keep everything level. I will see.
Okay, Kai. Bidoof. Every time I want to go for Kai, Bidoof is like, no, it's my turn.
I don't have a vendetta with that dude. It's just convenient timing.
Okay, go for it.
But yeah, I think Imagines in season 2 is a very worrisome topic. We're definitely going to be talking about that for sure in future podcasts. Because right now it just costs too much to make a Imagine. If they don't do anything about the current like material acquisition, acquisition, then I think we're have a huge problem here because it's just now like you expect whales to spend like almost upwards of 1,000 just to max it out, and you're like expecting free to plays to at least even make the first upgrade. Like it's just gonna burn out your players, I think. So I hope they do what she said. They learn from their mistake. That maybe they give more ways of obtaining Imagine materials, because that's very problemsome right now. But yeah, I mean, I think I share kind of the same opinions. I think I hope, hopefully, besides Imagines, there's going to be new raids, new dungeons, because right now, like over in China, people, one common complaint is that, you know, they've been running the same like 5 dungeons, now 6 dungeons, been running the same 5 or 6 dungeons for like the past several months, and like even in CBT2. So they'd like to see like something different for a change. Um, Hopefully there's not going to be that many bugs, because that was another issue. There was like many really tiny bugs. I mean, it's just tiny bugs, but then like, you know, 100 tiny bugs is probably about the same as like one large bug, right? In some cases. So I hope they do polish up their work when it comes to creating and designing these dungeons and raids. And yeah, I mean, they did show that there will be like it's pretty much guaranteed that there will be Imagines in season 2. I mean, they even teasered some world bosses back in the trailers. So, and if for those that don't know, world bosses, they always have a Imagine will tied to them. So yeah, there will definitely be Imagines in season 2. Just hope it won't be very expensive or hard to get as a free to play.
Okay. What do you think, Kai?
Yeah, I share the same opinion. I just hope it's not too hard to obtain. Like, as an example, I have no real plans to like spend $1,000 on China easily. So, let's say I have the Thunder Ogre now as an example, and then they bring out another thing that does what it does, but like, you know, better. And I'm like, well,
No,
guess you never know.
yeah, it gives like
Maybe
2
you can just
charges
have,
now.
yeah, or I mean, at that point you can technically have both, or like something that finally, you know, applies to a tank that you feel like you must have as a tank. Because I feel like at the moment, other than like Thunder Ogre, which is a high recommendation, there's no like must have, I feel like, for a tank. So, I mean, if they bring something out like that, it would be nice. At the same time, it's like, I feel like it's gonna take at least 2 months before I'm able to actually get it, or 3 months. Because of, you know, I'm restricted by like the tower drops at that point, so it's gonna take a while. I mean, other than that, I'm looking forward to Bahamar Mountains, one of my favorite areas in the original Blue Protocol, and also wondering about the housing system, how they smoothen it out, like people being able to visit. So, see what they have planned for all of that, the housing system,
yeah.
and I haven't really seen anything about it yet.
Yeah, right. They said that they're gonna full release the housing system, or the homestead
Yep.
system is what they call it in global,
Yep.
in season
Yeah.
2. So we'll have to see if they if it's still gonna be in beta or not. We'll see. Because
Yeah.
I know that Bakura has so much to work on since when they first announced that they're gonna, back in I think July or August, that they're gonna fully release the housing mode in October. But then between that time, like there's just been uh, so much changes that they need to address. So we'll see.
Yep.
And hopefully we can interact with furniture and all that stuff. So.
I really hope, like, I would also, like, I would say it's fine to have some, you know, more. They should definitely add more vertical content, but they shouldn't neglect the horizontal content. We have someone dancing on the table soon. Oh my god, me getting distracted so much. I think they need to.
Perci, I told you this.
I think we need to also have a decent amount of horizontal content, because that is those kind of things people like. You know, once again, this game doesn't push you to spend hours per day, so this is an ideal game where you do like your mandatory stuff within an hour or a little bit more than an hour, and then you could just chill and vibe with people, and it's so. I mean, gorgeous looking game. Look at me, right? You know, and they should add more activities for horizontal stuff. Exactly. Look at me, Bidov. Don't look away. Yep.
Perci
Perfect.
looking at feet.
Now Bidov is my favorite co-host. Yeah, so I lost track. Yeah, so basically at the housing system, it needs to be really good, and I hope they have some surprise social content they will add to, which you can do like mini games or whatever. And regarding the concern Bidoof mentioned about what about, like, they had a lot to do. I agree, they are publishing the game into 3 different regions. Like, we have A plus Japan, we have XD Entertainment for Korea and Japan. A plus Japan is not for Japan, it's for us, EU and ASA. And then we have How Play, I think, for Singapore, Taiwan, if I remember correctly. So they have 3 different versions, which is great because each of those player bases need some adjustments. Everyone has different preferences. So it's a great thing to do for MMOs, to adjust it towards a certain region's player base. But that's just so much more work onto their plate. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stuff. They keep changing the game. They're addressing a lot of issues. Not all, but they still. I wouldn't say they are not one of those publishers who ignore everything. They listen. They obviously they didn't listen to everything we want, but they are listening to a lot of things. They are changing. Balancing act is not, or balancing patch is not one of those things where we would totally agree. But at the same time, based on what they could pull off in the last few months within a short time frame, I think they can pull off this releasing the homestead to the upcoming month as a full thing. I think they could do that. Those guys are beasts. They push content in a really short time frame. So I kind of am, like, to a certain degree, I'm not that worried that they won't be able to deliver it. What do you guys think?
I mean, they are overworking every day, so we'll see what they bring out. They might forget some things which has happened in the past. So I think we just have to wait and see what truly happens before I judge.
Yep.
Yeah, their development team is too small, I think. They're
Yeah.
still hiring people, I believe. They're hiring like junior programmers. Is fine, I guess. I mean, it brings a more modern perspective into the game. I don't know how old their development team is. It seems like a very small company anyways. So it's gonna take a lot of effort for them to develop high quality content. So definitely need more people. Especially if they're planning to release this game into 3 different regions.
Yep.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, it's a very ambitious goal. Are they going to be able to do it? I very much hope so. But yeah, I'm always reminded that because they don't really have a lot of experience, that they're gonna definitely miss a lot of things. But then I just gotta keep an optimistic perspective. Hopefully everything just turns out well in the next, like, I don't know, few months, couple years. I mean, few months is not really that long for MMO. Like, I don't mind waiting as long as they have time to cook, and eventually they do produce a really good MMO in the future. I mean, right now I think it's fine right now as the way it is, but I do hope they do improve from what it is right now.
Well, that is a great point you made there, and I totally agree. And also a great spot to call it a day with this podcast. We went through all the topics we want to talk about. Anything you guys want to add to what we talked about? Anything important we missed besides #ads?
There needs to be more community videos. Like there was an awesome
I
video.
wanted to talk about that. Okay, go for it.
Wait, what? You talk about it.
Okay. I wanted to talk about it because I watched this video like the last few days 50 times, man. I think it's from a person called Venti, and he made a great video using a lot of footage from the last tests with his guild together, and it's one of those things where I want to see more of those in this game, and this game is so perfect for those kind of things. I mean, Nico, if you're listening to this, please link the video, or maybe play a short clip of it at the end of this podcast. The video is called Yatta, and it's an amazing one. Like, if anyone here didn't watch that, you definitely go out and go and check it out and give it a thumbs up. I really loved it, and I hope to see way more stuff like that in BP. It's just so comfy and so nice to watch. Like, did you guys watch it? Did you guys like it?
Yeah, it's very creative, very fun, very like nice, very cute.
Kawaii, you say? Okay. And Kai?
Huh?
Huh? No, I did not. I have not watched it. But
Okay.
I'll check it out when I can.
Okay, guys, point a finger at Kai.
Okay.
Shame him. Shame him.
I've been busy. Okay.
Shame. No, that's the wrong
what the-
direction. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
Very
There's
good.
Percy. There he is. Yes,
do
Percy
this.
right there.
Where's the pointing emote? That's the wrong way.
It's fine.
Anyways,
It's perfect.
shame
Don't
on you,
worry.
Kai. Watch the video after this podcast. But yeah, that is everything we wanted to talk about, and that's wrapped up on our, or that's a wrap on our 5th Resonance Cast episode. Hopefully, the next one won't take that long. And until then, thanks for hanging out with us as we explored the latest chaos and challenges in Blue Protocol Star Resonance. Huge thanks to my co-host Kai, Bidoof, and Chi for bringing up the energy levels higher and providing us with insight. Thank you very much, guys.
No problem.
Okay,
Bye.
we are descending into madness. And we will be back with more episodes covering breaking news, updates, and events in the world of Star Resonance soon, TM.